Hi guys, my name is Mesama Delight and welcome to my channel. Here I post sewing tutorials. I know it has been a while since I last uploaded, though I'm back now. Today's tutorial is all about how to cut and sew a palazzo trouser. So let's just get right into the video. For the making of this trouser, the measurements we need is our waist, our hip, and the full length. So now the first thing you need to do is to minus 2 inch for our band and mark the full length of your trouser. So I'm working with 45. I'm minusing 2 inch from my 45 and I also add extra 2 inch again to the length of my trouser. Minus 2 inch for your band and also add 2 inch for the length of the length of your trouser. And I'm going to use my chalk to make a straight line. So this line I'm marking now is going to serve as the starting area for whatever I'm going to do. Now I'm going to come I'm going to get my crouch depth now. How I do get this is like my hip, I'm working with 43. So I'm going to divide 43 by 4. There I have 10.75. And I'm going to add extra 4 inch to the division of my hip line. So 43 divided by 4, we have 10.75 plus extra 4 inch, we have 14.75. So that is going to be the crouch depth I'm going to work with. So I'm going to use my ruler to make a straight line after marking this 14.75. The new line you're seeing now is my crouch line. So I want to divide my hip by 4, 10.75. I'm going to mark it there. Now I forgot to mention, we also need our laps measurement. So you need your waist, full length, hip, and your laps measurement. So the laps I'm working with is 15. That's 30 divided by 2, we have 15. I'm marking 15 right now. Going over to the waistline, I'm going to mark the division of my hip measurement on that my waistline. Well, we're not working with anything waist here for now. So now I'm going to connect the hip measurement on my waistline and the hip measurement on my crouch line in a straight line. That's done. Now I want to, you know how we make our armhole curve, something like that. I want to create a curve. Just create yours. You see where you see me creating mine to touch that 15 of my on my crouch line. Now that's done. Now I'm going to go down to my full length part. I'm marking the same 15 at that part and I'll mark the same 15 at this other side. After doing that, I'm going to use my ruler to connect this in the straight line. Now that that's done, we're just going to cut around this. So this is just how we made our, like we cut out our front. So after this, it needs to be our to work on the back part of our trouser. For the back part of this, I got my fabric and I folded it into two again, just the same I did for the front. I placed the front on top of this newly folded part. Make sure they're equal at this end, that's at the edges. Alright. So now, using our tape, we're going to go in by 3 inch. We're going to add extra 3 inch here to our crouch line. Now at the top part, we're going to add something to. You can decide to add 2.5 or 2 inch. So here I'm going to use 2 point. I'm going to use 2 inch or 2.5. I'm using 2.5. Sorry, I'm using 2.5. Then I'll connect using a straight line too. And at the end part, I'm going to use the same 2.5. So I have 2.5 at my waistline, 3 inch at my crouch line, and 2.5 again at the full length part. That's at the end of my trouser. So now after doing that, I'm going to connect my crouch to the 2.5 I have. So I'm trying to extend that 2.5. That's what I'm doing right now. After doing that, I will just connect that point together using my ruler. So that's done. I'm going to head over now to my waist area, and I'm going to create a curve with my free hand. So this is the way I'm creating mine, and try making something similar to mine. So now that's just all. I'm going to cut round this the same way we did for the front part. That's done. So we're going to bring out our front part. We're going to work with our front. Now this is going to have a pocket. So to get our pocket, I'm going to place the front together, face like front facing front. Make sure they're equal. Now using my tape, I'm going to mark 7 inch downwards from my waist area, my waistline. So I'm going to mark 7 inch downward, and I'm going to use my scissors to make a, it's not going to reach half inch now, but make a half, something like half, not too deep, inch cut. That's it. Something like this. I went ahead to cut my pocket. So for the length, it's going to be 14, and for the width, it's going to be 7. So that's how I cut my pocket. Next, I'm going to show you how to attach your pocket to your trouser. So your pocket is going to be attached firstly to the front part of your trouser. So I'm picking up this part and placing the front of the pocket to the front of my trouser. So I'm going to create a stitch to that part that I opened up with my scissors. So when sewing, see the way I'm pushing this part up, you open this, you did not, you push that other part so you wouldn't sew, that's the down part, so you push it up so you wouldn't sew on top, then you make a straight stitch. See the way I'm pushing it, to push it like that. After doing that, this is just how it's going to look like. This is what I was talking about. That's just what I was talking about. So now that's done. Next, what I want to do now is I'm going to flip it over to the front part. You can press the part you sewed now, press it open with your iron. After doing that, you fold it this way and top stitch on top all the way to that part. I've top stitched it, and that's how it's looking like. The next thing I want to do now is to close up our pocket. So see the way I'm folding it, fold it like this. This is just, I'm just trying to show you how your pocket is going to look like in your trouser. So now this is what I want to do. You want to sew your pocket in such a way that if anybody even will see your pocket, they'll be seeing the front of front of the fabric, not the back of the fabric. So I know it's going to be like this in the end, but I'm turning it over to the wrong side like this. So fold it the way you see me folding it now. Then I'm going to go to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew round like this all the way to that point that has a notch. After doing that, I will trim out the excesses and I will turn the pocket over and top stitch it. So look at it, I've turned it over again and I've top stitched it, and the pocket is looking exactly how it was supposed to be. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but this is just how the pocket should look like. After doing this now, you get the corresponding back part of this trouser. Remember, front to front. And when I mean front to front, like the front of the fabric should be placed on the other front of the fabric. So you're going to place it this way, that the side should be placed to the sides, and you go to your sewing machine, make sure that equal to equal, and you sew from top to bottom. Though when you reach the pocket area, you won't close up your pocket area. You will pick up one part of the pocket and you sew around. I'm going to show you what I mean. This is just what I mean. So I'm starting from the full length part, that's the down of my trousers. I'm going to start sewing. You can use 0.7 inch as your sewing line, or half inch, anyone you want. So I'm using 0.7 inch. I'm going to sew from top, from bottom to top. Reaching that pocket area side, that's pocket side, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to push out the pocket, so that, see, I pushed out the pocket so I wouldn't sew on it. You push out the pocket. Now you're going to now sew it this way. See the way I'm sewing it, and try to do exactly like me. After pushing out that down part, I'm now sewing a little bit on top of the pocket. Now I'll stop there. Now I'm going to push at that place I top stitched, because I don't want to sew on top, and I'll take this other and this other part of the pocket that I didn't do anything to. You understand? And I'm going to keep sewing that part to the back part of my trouser. You might not get what I'm saying, but I guess after watching this video, you'll be able to like do yours the same way you see me doing mine. After doing that, still on the sewing machine, I'm going to try to close up my pockets the way it should be. Now, the part I nudged should be touching the line. I don't know, see what I did? The part I nudged of my, that's the nudge part I did, part I saw I top stitched on my pocket should be touching this, that line I sewed. Now, just try to make our pocket, it's going to look straight and nice. So I'm going to top stitch on this angle, this part. Don't forget the place I top stitch and that new line should be touching each other. Now I'll make a stitch here, and I'll go over to the table and I will show you how it is looking like. So see, my hand could pass in freely. I'm going to repeat this same pocket process for the other parts, because our pockets on both sides. So after doing that, I've put the pocket for both sides, and this is how it's looking like. So now I'm going to place it front to front. I'm going to sew the front crouch line. I'm going to sew on the front crouch line. So here I made a mistake. I actually sewed on the crouch line of my back, but I later loosed it in the end after doing that. For my band, the length of my band is 7 inch, and I went ahead to make a part that's where I will pass my rope through it. How I did that is that I placed this ends like this, and I sewed it in a straight line, left a gap that I can pass my laces through. After sewing it, I then opened it up and top stitched on top. That's how I achieved that. It's just it. So now I'm going to place this, the part that has a hole that my rope will pass through, is going to be at the center of my front. Like, see what how I'm placing it now. Bringing up my band, I'm going to place it this way, with the part that I have that hole should be touching the front. And I'm going to sew it from this end to the other end of my front. So this is what, now that's just it. Now this back part, that's, remember that crouch I said I made a mistake in, that's just it. I'm supposed to attach this my band before joining the crouch of my back. That's done. So I'm going to measure the length, the width of my band. I have 1.75. So instead of marking exactly 1.75 on my band, I'm going to mark 2 inch to give it enough space that my band can move freely. So now I have 2 inch. I'm going to mark 2 inch. This is the way I'm marking my 2 inch. Mark your 2 inch like the way you see me mark my 2 inch. So I'm going to mark this 2 inch round, all the way round. After marking the 2 inch all the way round, I'll go to my iron, press it down so it can look like, it can be nice when I'm sewing. I won't have any struggle. So it's going to be like this, something like this. You iron it exactly on the line. Let the line be at the edge of the band. Next, what you're going to do next now is that you're going to sew round from that angle. You join, that's how you join, you close your band. We're going to leave a gap where you're going to pass your elastic through. So this is just how it's going to look like after you've done your band duty. So time for elastic. You're going to pass your elastic through. Remember that tiny gap I told you to leave? That's the gap where your elastic shall be passed through. You pass your elastic from that part and seal up your elastic. That's just it. So easy peasy. Immediately you're done with this part, the next thing you're going to do now is to now top stitch on your elastic. This is how I top stitch on my elastic. My elastic have a total of 3 top stitches. After doing that, you're going to go ahead to seal the end of your trouser. That you have to fold this in using up that your allowance. After folding it in, you're now going to go ahead to close up your trouser. Don't forget to put your rope for your trouser into that space we left at the band. So that's just all. Your palazzo trouser should look like this. I hope you found this tutorial helpful and in the making of your palazzo trouser, and I hope I'll see you in the next tutorial I'm going to post. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.